I think that the fact that there's a group effort, that you feel like you're part of something larger, where you're part of a stadium crowd, part of the experience, not just on the field, but actually in the stands. The first kart stunt was done in 1910 at the big game between Stanford and Cal. In 1908, they used to have just capes, which are things they roll over their shoulders to form a letter C on a yellow background, or in Stanford's case, a red S on a white background. And then in 1910, they actually held up cards. In some cases, are actually pieces of wood that were painted in the old days, and created the first kart stunt. In 1924, a gentleman from USC created the first animated kart stunt, and it showed the mascots of their opposing team being crushed. So it was like a multiple flip of these cards to create some sort of animation. Throughout the time, there's been about 30 schools that have done kart stunts. And then about 1960, Madison Avenue sort of woke up and realized that there was some benefit to advertising. So I believe the first advertising kart stunt was Fireman's Fund up in San Rafael, California, and they created a 400-person stunt that showed their Fireman's Fund's logo. And since then, a lot of organizations, everything from Subway to Gillette, have used kart stunts as an advertising medium. Kart stunts sort of became, again, out of a cheering section. So you had a group of people that would actually follow the directions of the cheerleader, and it was just another way to express themselves. A lot of times they would match up the kart stunt to the marching band and actually create a halftime show and a halftime event. So two main groups, some colleges and universities in the United States, advertisers that will actually have it for sporting events, NASCAR events, hockey events, football events, baseball events, anywhere where you've got a corporate gathering, so some businesses use it, but also governments. So at the Olympics in London and also in Beijing and in Moscow, the governments would actually have, where they have entire stadiums running kart stunts. They've moved everything from what was done originally by hand stamping to mainframe computers and to personal computers. So they've actually taken the programs to actually create a kart stunt. You sort of need a grid to start with, or a seating chart for whatever stadium, or in some fashion way of making sure that people are lined up horizontally and vertically. And then there's artists that create the picture of a flag or of a logo or whatever, and then they take that into a computer so that each individual seat has instructions. The thing that most impressed me, if you could hand me that, is in the 60s, you'd think that kart stunts would be good for outside during the daytime. The UCLA team played at the Rose Bowl, and they played a lot of night games. And they created a card that actually had colored gels, and they would actually give people flashlights to hold through. I don't know if you could see this, and actually shine through. It would actually light up like a Christmas tree with 3,000 or 4,000 people holding up a kart stunt. So I think it was probably the most interesting thing I've ever seen in kart stunts.